has no similarity to in any countries. It's in own kind, yeah. Can say this.
So, and I kind of got interested into it when I seen you playing it. I was like, wow. So I started looking it up, and I read that it started with 27 strings, and it went all the way. Now you said 67 strings, and it had a vast history behind it. You want to tell us a little bit about the history?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It started from Kobza. Kobza was a much lighter instrument. It has only 27 strings, and most only like blind Kobzars played it, and they sang like historic songs. You know, they were like telling people, mass media at that time. They would sit on the street, play and tell that, you know, Kiev was occupied by Turkish army and they came, and Ukrainian soldiers, Kazakhs would just, you know, they would tell the story. Yeah. So this how Bandura became known like a traditional historic instrument and has a history in it. And it's true that Bandura became like symbol of Ukraine. If I would just play Bandura, everyone's like, oh, she's Ukrainian. Yeah, she's Ukrainian. Because I don't know if that anyone else would play Bandura.
No, I don't think so.
Russia known for gusli, Lithuania known for kanklis, you know, some other, Romania for cymbals. They're traditional multi-strings instruments. So Bandura is a traditional Ukrainian. And I think with time that Kobza started develop to Bandura from 27 strings to a bigger body, more developed instrument. We have some, so I'm changing the keys. I can play Fur-Elise and can play Beethoven easily, you know, rock on Bandura, jazz on Bandura now. Kobza would just give us simple accords. You just plug in C major, D major, simple, you know, which is enough for singing a song. Now Bandura players want to expand the skills, and we want to know, like, we can compete with a pianist, you know. That's why we get to more complicated instrument, and it's definitely much heavier now. It's a very heavy instrument.
How much does it weigh?
Oh, I don't know. I cannot say in pounds, but it's enough. It's heavy, big. Especially when you travel to perform, flying, you know, carrying it on the shoulders. It's heavy. So, and since it developed, you know, this Ukrainian historic meaning, later grew a big hate to it, especially to people who cares the history and singing, you know, and bringing. This would happen in the beginning of 20th century. There was kind of hate between Russia and Ukraine. Even we are so close, we have relatives living, you know, we're like brother countries, you know. Someone is married, someone kids are working in Russia, someone is, you know, studying in Ukraine. But there was still something happening behind that. In the beginning of 20th century, there was a big meeting of Bandura players in Kharkov. And while they were bringing all these people to perform, they killed them on the way in the train and threw their bodies in the snow so nobody could find them, you know. So there's a sad story in Bandura. I think because Bandura means a lot for Ukrainians and Ukraine. Anywhere would I go here in the United States with Bandura, once the people see me with Bandura, people don't have much questions. Where I'm from, what language I speak, what culture, you know, I grew up. Playing Bandura touches souls.
That's crazy. So did Russia kill those people? Who killed those people?
There was, I think, well-prepared plan. They didn't want Bandura players, you know, continue teaching and growing new generation. People who knows the history and people who brings the culture, Ukrainian culture.
Yeah, well, I kind of read what you're saying. They were saying that a lot of the songs, the folk songs, were passing down history. They didn't like that.
And also Bandura players, like David, King David in Bible, he played kinora. I think there was the beginning of this multi-string harps and lute and bandura generation of this multi-strings instruments. So influence of King David impact and harpist and bandura players, like beside the historical songs, we also sing sacred music, Psalms of David. It's very common that we would just play and just read the psalm and sing it, And communists, they didn't like it. Communist was the movement against religion,
They know that.
against the history, against of independence of Ukraine. So it has long roots,